win is gritty. Would you agree with that assessment? How do you kind of see this game unfolding as the second half wore on there?
Yeah, we just couldn't shake them off. Every time we looked like we were about to pull away, they just made a shot, made a play. So hats off to them. But we got to do a better job of putting teams away and finishing games. But yeah, it was a gritty win. A win's a win. That's a tough team, even though the record might not show it, but that's a good team.
What are you thinking when that three goes in that you banked? I saw you shrug your shoulders a little bit.
I just shrugged because, I mean, I couldn't get anything to go down all night in terms of three balls. And, you know, I got lucky on that one, I'll be honest. But you keep shooting them, well, it's going to go down eventually. So that's why the shrug, you know.
Trey, the stats are a little interesting, I guess you could say, in this game, right? You guys shot 55%, but yet you were only 2 of 13 from 3. What does it take in a game like that to kind of tough it out, you know, when the shots aren't falling necessarily from distance?
Yeah, like you said, we're usually pretty good of, you know, keeping it at 3 levels, 3 mid and in the paint. But sometimes, you know, they just don't go down. And we're not a team that just can only shoot threes, so we realized we had to get it done more in the paint and get things going in there so we could, you know, build our lead and get the win.
Trey, even on a night like Matt said, where maybe they were defending him tough, or maybe the shots weren't falling for him, does it like as his teammates? Do you guys think, you know, it's only a matter of time before he starts going?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I have faith in all my teammates, especially Matt. I've seen him make countless shots, and I know he can make them. And I truly always believe that no matter who it is, the next shot is going to go in. Like that's just what I believe, because I know the work that they put in, and the confidence I have in them, and the confidence that they have in themselves.
Does he have that uncanny ability to kind of like at the most important points of the game, then it gets going a little bit? It's not the first time he's done that.
Yeah, Moon kind of has that little MJ clutchness, I'd like to say. You know, shout out to him. That's his favorite player, you know. But he has that clutchness. He likes the big shot, and he has proven that he can make it and step up to the plate and consistently do it.
Appreciate you, Red.
Always.
Call him back next time.
For any of you, again, to kind of tough out a win like this, what does that kind of do for team? I guess morality, but you know, what does that do for team confidence? I guess to be able to tough out a win like the one that you guys just did.
You got it.
I would say, I mean, it's a big confidence boost for us just knowing that we didn't play as well as we could. I mean, shooting three-wise, like 2 for, only making 2 threes and really battling out down low. I think it just kind of shows that even on a tough night, we can still battle down there and get the win.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Matt, kind of going back to what you said at the start about wanting to put teams away. Is that maybe a takeaway from this game, is to put teams away when you're up by 13?
Yeah, I think we've done a much better job of that this year, like against Drake the other day. We put them away. But yeah, that's something we've improved on, but tonight we weren't able to do it. And it's something that the great teams do every night. They step on the throat. When they're up, they just get up more and more and more and more. They don't. It's human nature, I guess, to take your foot off the pedal. But the great teams, they don't do that. So for us, that's a point for us to improve on.
Well, first of all, you know, good win. It was a grind. It was just a grinder game. Nothing was pretty. Felt like you had to earn everything. And credit to Eastern Washington. I thought they played their best game of the year. And I thought they played better tonight than they did when they beat Stanford. And they were clicking. You know, they've been a bit of a, you know, first-year head coach. I think he's doing a great job. And you're searching a little bit, and I feel like they're really playing the right guys now, and they've changed some things a little bit in terms of what they're running consistently. I thought we did a great job on their mid-screen and roll, which that's predominantly what they've been running all year. And then the second half of San Francisco, which is, 2 days ago or 3 days ago, I think. The second half, they played a lot of different guys, and they just started running a lot of staggers and doing some different, and they hurt us with some of that stuff. So I thought they played well, and they answered the bell. We would score, and they'd come down and make a tough shot, and so I thought they played really well, and credit to them. But obviously really happy for us, that we found a way to win. And sometimes the other night on Wednesday night against Drake, we were hooking and phasing, and we were making every shot in sight, and 11 for 22 from the three. And I mean, we were scoring inside. We had a middle game, we had an outside game, and tonight we had to earn everything. We go 2 for 12 from the three, and one of them was a bank shot that Mooney banked in late, and I'm not sure he called glass off of that on that, but we'll still take it. So you just got to find a way to win. It was a choppy game. It was some of our guys really struggled because of foul trouble. We were Hags off the top gets too early, sat on him for what, probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 minutes maybe in the first half. And then he gets a couple more, and then you're sitting on him, and when you bring him back, when you're not. So anyway, it's good to get the W. It was good in hindsight, it was good to have a game like that, where you got to make some plays. I thought we did a good job making free throws down the stretch. 17 for 21, missed 2 front ends though. And so it only turned it over 10 times. So with that.
You mentioned the stat line, 2 of 12 from 3, yet you still shoot 50-some%. Can you mine that for us and kind of tell us kind of how that happened and how it unfolded?
Well, especially the way we play. Basketball is obviously a rhythm game, and we always thought we play almost all motion, right? I mean, obviously we run some sets, we have a ball screen continuity, whatever, but with more freedom comes more responsibility. And I know I've said that before, but we jump out to a 9-2 start at the first media timeout, and we're like playing really, really well. I think we missed 1 shot. Just had great looks in the paint. I think Carlton hit a couple freebies, basically uncontested. I think Trey Birch Manning, I think, had 1 or 2 in there. And it was going easy, right? And then I thought we just kind of hoisted a few quick ones. We were in transition. We over-dribbled a couple times instead of which led to turnovers going the other way. And so they had a little mini run. I think it was 9-7. And then we had another run, right? I think we were up 24-11. And so we're rolling again. But then we just I just felt like it just, I don't think guys consciously get selfish, but I just think sometimes when it's easy, maybe there's a little bit of part of you that just says, maybe it's my turn. And then they went on the run, and we only scored, what was it? It was 20, what was the score at half? 31. So we scored 8 points, I believe, after it was 24-11. I think we scored 8, or maybe it was like 10 points in the last 8 minutes or something like that. It was like just over the top awful how bad our offense was the last like 8 minutes or 8.5 minutes. And then this is a great stat. The last 9 possessions of the first half, and we told our team this. I said, how many times did we have 1 ball reversal the last 9 possessions of the first half? Well, it's the same amount as a dead man. 0, right? So it's hard to have good offense when you don't pass the ball. And so, and that was the other thing. And that wasn't the exact quote I used with the guys. I used the quote, guess how many offensive rebounds we had in the first half? 1, right? And I looked at, well, I don't want to get too graphic, but I looked at Austin Sparks and said, how many offensive rebounds do you have? He said 1, exactly. And I said, that's how many our team had, which is 1 more than a dead person. And so, and you know what? That's what's great. Our guys are mature guys. They can handle, some things and look in the mirror and say, okay, like we got to do better. Second half, we shoot 61%. We go 16 for 26. I mean, 16 for 26, and we get 4 offensive rebounds. So what does that tell you? That's attitude and effort. It's really, sometimes you really need to make adjustments, and sometimes you just got to say, I have to be better. I have to work harder. I have to play right for my teammates. And I thought we really did that in the second half.
Is there a word you might use to describe this win? The one that kind of, again, keeps circling in my head is gritty.
I thought it was. I thought it was a gut check. We told the guys the analogy, and I think I've used this before. Jeremy, after 4 years, you're going to probably hear it once a year season, maybe twice. But and we used to say that, Coach Miles used to say this at Nebraska, like I don't really watch a lot of NASCAR, but I know what it is. And to win a NASCAR race, usually you got to have a pretty good car, right? Like it's gonna run. But sometimes you can win the race by you're constantly, you got to fix the carburetor. I don't know what a carburetor, but my dad, I used to hear him say that a lot. Did you check the carburetor when we were driving snowmobiles? And I'm like, well, I don't really know what a carburetor is, so no, I didn't. And then you gotta, like, how's the oil doing, or the windshield washer fluid, or the rear tire's a little low, and so it was kind of like a NASCAR race where you're just constantly tinkering and you're playing some different lineups, and you're just trying to figure it out, and you're just trying to get to the finish right on top. And so I thought it was a gritty win, and we made some it's not always how many punches you can punch or throw, because I thought we were throwing some haymakers late, and they just kept coming back, and they were taking them, and we were taking them, and it just kind of went back and forth, and we just had enough to finish it off late, and then we made the free throws.
I was waiting for the boxing reference.
I know. As soon as I said it too, I'm like, oh, geez, Jeremy. I love boxing. Like, because at the end of the day, right, it's survival, right? You just got to figure it out.
We asked Trey Burch-Manning about Mooney, because, it's probably only a matter of time that he would get going.
Yeah.
He just kind of has that knack again to do it when you really need it.
He does. And congratulations to Matt Mooney. He got his 1,000th career point tonight. I think it was on a made free throw. I'm not positive. But, you don't want it to always get to this point, and it doesn't. But like Coach K said, I just remember him saying a long time ago, and it stuck with me forever. Sometimes you have to speak a language they understand. And halftime was the time they needed to hear a language they understand. And that's good. You as a coach, you got to know, you got to have a gauge about who can handle what. Individually and as a team, and what kind of team you have. And I think this is a pretty mentally tough team. And I think they also knew what was coming, quite frankly. And so to the guys' credit, thought we just really had a really good look to us the second half, where we just didn't waver on both ends of the floor. And I think we are a good defensive team. And like I said on the intro, I thought they made some big plays. They, you give them credit, they made some big plays, but we never hung our head. We were pouting about it in the second half, and we dealt with reality, and that was like, hey, this thing's going down to the wire. The last thing we said in the pregame speech before we came out was the toughest team will win this game. You just had that, I don't know why, I just had the vibe all day today, like this is going to be a knock them down, grind it out, physical, tough game. And it was. And I think why is because they played so well the second half of San Fran. And sometimes even when you don't win, you just start feeling, and you could tell they were feeling good about themselves that last half. So even though they didn't win, they cut a 21-point deficit where they had a chance to cut it to 2, and they just couldn't make it. You know what I'm saying? So they're gaining some momentum that way. And so hopefully there's 14 teams in the country now with nine or more wins. I know you like that, Jeremy, the stats. But Rick Karius looked that up yesterday. Going into today, there were 13 teams in the country with 9 or more wins. And so we played at 1 o'clock, so I'm not sure anyone beat us to it. But now we know there's at least 14. So it's a great start, but that is what it is. It's a start. And so now we're on the road for 3 straight in 9 days. And when you're on the road for that time, it's plane, trains, and automobiles, and it's Groundhog Day, like with Bill Murray. You wake up, go to breakfast, go back to your room, watch film, go to shoot around, go back to your room. It gets a little bit Groundhog Day-ish. So our guys really compete typically in on the road.